Yeah, no, you're headed in the right direction. So he uses specific word choice to contribute to the tone, to the condemning tone. Even though it's throughout the whole passage, and you can say it's throughout the whole passage, he does use specific diction to get to that place. Sam?
I said blunt, which is kind of like matter of fact, but
You said what?
like blunt, like he's just
Blunt.
saying this is how it is.
Yeah, so matter of fact, blunt, Josh.
I said unfair.
Unfair. How is it an unfair tone?
Because in the first sentence, he's saying that we really can't get mad at people's nature, whatever the cause or whatever the reason. But then also he's saying after that we really shouldn't condemn people for what they do.
Yeah. Okay, so it's unfair. So does he feel like there are injustices against him or by society?
I think he feels the injustices by society because they're condemning her for something that was her choice, and it doesn't really affect them.
Okay, so rather than an unfair tone, because he's not being unfair, what could it be instead? Did somebody help him out? What was it? Biased. Okay. Bias would be a good one. What else? Brianna, are you raising your hand?
Oh, no. Well, okay, so unjust, I guess.
Unjust. Okay, so again, is he being unjust, or does he think that something is unjust?
I think he's saying something.
Okay, so what would be the tone word if he thinks something is being unjust? How is he reacting to it? Yeah, Valerie.
Would it be indignant?
Indignant. Yeah, that would be a great one. Indignant. And I think somebody already had said defensive. That would be a good one as well. So again, if something unjust is happening, the author is reacting to that. So you need to figure out what his attitude is toward the injustice, or toward the bias, or toward whatever you see in the passage. Madison?
I put sympathetic because I felt like he felt bad for the unjust that was happening to her.
Yeah, sympathetic. So again, reacting toward the injustices. So he's sympathetic. That's a great term word. Kayla?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I thought the first part of the sentence was sympathetic. Like he was defending them. Like
Good.
he felt bad.
Yeah, sympathetic. Those are all really great term words. Colin?
That's anxious.
Anxious. Where did you see anxiety?
I like the whole thing because it's talking about everything that's going through her head all at once, and it's just really degrading her and just putting it on her mind and body. So.
Okay. So he feels anxiety for Hester.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Let's move on to mood. So what did you underline for mood? Mood? Sam?
Forbid the culprit to hide their face or his face for shame.
Okay, and how did that make you feel?
Like I felt really bad. Like she's like keep her face off even though like she's apparently done something terrible, and she has to just sit there and like take it and like she can't even like turn her head. She just has to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
That just seems so terrible.
It is terrible. Absolutely. Morgan?
In the end, knowing well her part, Hester ascended the flight of wooden steps and was thus displayed to the surrounding multitude.
All right, and how did that make you feel?
Feeling more like a resign. I'm resigned to my fate. That's what I have to do.
Okay, so reading this made you feel resigned.
Just at the end, like that one last part is that, like, after all this, just like hurt, shame, and then I was resigned to my fate.
Yeah. All right, good. Courtney?
Impressed. Because like at the end, like when Hester is like she's submitting herself, she's going in and doing, like showing herself. Like I'm impressed with what she's able to do that. She seems qualified and I think that's really strong.
Good. So as a reader, you were impressed with her strength. Very good. What other mood words do you have? Yeah, Jose?
Appalled, I guess.
Appalled. Okay.
It's like if you don't want, like if you're not letting someone, try to deal with their shame by letting them hide by themselves for a little bit, it's kind of like, why would you do that?
Yeah. And that's a great word. That's a really great word. Anybody else? Yeah.
I was horrified by like the ending, like that she has to be displayed to the surrounding multitude.
Yeah. Horrified.
I was
Yeah, Aaron?
I don't know if anybody said sympathetic. It made me feel.
We said it for tone, but we haven't said it yet for mood. Again, tone and mood don't have to be mutually exclusive. They can be the same thing. So you can feel the same way that the author feels towards something. You can feel the same thing. Sometimes it's different. I'm going to give you an example of where it's very different, but sometimes they can cross over. Brianna?
I'm kind of angry the fact that like she's being put up on this like she's being displayed like a car or something, like an object.
Yeah. Angry. Very good. So let me read you an example of something which has a very distinct tone and mood, or it should, and hopefully you can see that. So has anybody read The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, I think it's called? Nobody?
What is that?
Really? Or yeah, Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, that's the title. Nobody's read it? It's a book written, it's a piece of fiction, and it's written from the perspective of a kid. It's never explicitly stated, but I'm pretty sure he has Asperger's. Does everybody know what Asperger's is?
Yeah, it's the modest.
Yeah, it's on the autism spectrum, and people with Asperger's have a hard time feeling and recognizing emotions. So it's written from his perspective, and a lot of really terrifying things happen during the whole plot of the book. It begins, the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime is that he wakes up and his neighbor's dog that he loves has been stabbed, I think with a fork, in the front yard, and is dead. And that's the whole beginning of the book. That's where the title comes from. So listen to this statement and try to figure out if you can distinguish the tone and the mood. All right? Sometimes these things would make mother and father really angry, and they would shout at me or they would shout at each other. Sometimes father would say, "Christopher, if you do not behave, I swear I shall knock the living daylights out of you." Or mother would say, "Jesus, Christopher, I am seriously considering putting you in a home." Okay? So, what's the tone? What is his tone for the happening? Josh?
I think it's pretty detached.
Yeah.
States it matter-of-factly, rather bluntly.
Yeah, detached, matter of fact, what? Those are all great words. Can anybody come up with anything else for the tone? Yeah, Holly?
Like intimidating, because his parents are kind of threatening him, or if he doesn't be quiet or do what they tell him to do, then
That would be what?
a mood.
That would be mood, because it's how you feel. How does the speaker feel? Madison?
Like impassive, like he just doesn't care.
Yeah, passive. Sam?
Always like a child, when children they don't understand things, so it's really innocent, even if it's really bad.
Yeah.
So it's something terrible that they're saying to him, he doesn't understand it.
Yeah, so innocent or
Yeah.
not understanding, not comprehending. Morgan? Indifferent. Yeah, these are all great tone words. So the tone is very detached. It's not what you would expect for what the content is. So thinking about the content as you, the reader, with the full human range of emotions, how does it make you feel? Yeah, Meredith?
It's unsettling how calm it is.
Unsettling. That's a really good word. Jennifer?
Upsetting.
Upsetting? Yeah. Libby? Sad? Yeah, it is sad. The content of this is really sad. It's kind of horrifying. Anything else? So the tone and the mood here are very different. It's very clear. But the tone and mood are not always so distinct. So it depends on what we're watching or what we're reading. But speaking of watching, just to really drive it home with mood. So, does anybody ever watch recut trailers? No?
Like edited trailers, fan trailers?
Yeah, trailers that are recut to be different than they are. So Scary Poppins is one of the more famous examples where it's Mary Poppins recut to be horrifying. I can't actually even watch it because it is really scary. Now, have you guys seen Mary Poppins?
That movie's
Yeah.
scary anyway.
It's not scary. It's a children's movie.